Well, hello everyone, it's me, Snarky McAllister. And as you can see, I finally got my Snarky McAllister channel up on YouTube, and it wasn't easy. I tried to do it once with the MCTV Real News, but it didn't work out because it was a separate account from my email. I don't want to get all into this, bore you with it. But the upshot of the whole deal was I had to shut that one down and start a new one connected to my Happy Human. And everything became easier. I mean, they were telling me things like, your video's too long. You can only upload a 15-minute video. I'm like, what? Mine's an hour. And so this was the last video. It's one view, that's me. I have no followers. Please follow me. Please follow me. I don't have any followers. No, seriously. I'll put the link at the top of the description. Please come and follow me, because if you subscribe and like the videos on YouTube, then my channel will get bigger. So I invite you all to come here to my YouTube channel. You're going to get the same videos on Rumble and on BitChute. I'm not monetized on any of these channels yet, and I don't know that I will be. It all depends. But if I start to do live streams on Happy Human, I might monetize that site, because they won't let you do live streams until you're monetized. So anyway, or at least that's the way it used to be. The real at The Real Snarky 2025. That's how Snarky Truther. Worked for the biggest networks in the world until 2009, and then I left to tell the truth, to research the truth, and then make videos about it. So this video will go up here where I'm begging for people to please, oh please. There's nothing like begging. Now, if you, the first thing I want to do, you'll hear me shuffling my papers, because this is another special edition for you. I went to the post office, and I had to go to the post office and find out what the deal was there, because I knew they sold the UPS. And I said, are you guys going to be gone soon? And the guy said, oh no, we're already in operation. What they said was, the people who bought it, it's not just UPS. Now it's like all these other things, FedEx. It's like a one-stop shipping place, which is fine with me. I get to keep my post office box and everything. And I sure wouldn't want anything to happen to that. You know why? Because you guys give me such, first of all, you write me such beautiful things. Really, when I want to ascend, and I think, you know, the what do they call it, the dark night of the soul or whatever, you start remembering things that happened and you get really depressed and sad. And I think to myself, well, no wonder I'm so snarky. You know, I don't have any love in my heart. And then I think about you guys, and everything changes, and I wouldn't trade that for anything. So I have some people to thank, and I sure do appreciate all your sentiments about my, what turned out to be a spider bite. I thought I'd pulled my back. I saw those 2 marks. I just couldn't figure it out. And it turns out it was either a brown recluse or a black widow. It was a serious spider bite. So it took me down for a few days, more than a few days. It was like couple weeks, and it just burned and pulled, and God, I thought I was going to go insane. So I want to thank, let's see. Philip says, our beloved President Trump is taking us to the golden age, Phil. Hoping your back is feeling better. And he gave me a very nice donation, and thank you, Phil. And he also sent a picture of him. Oh no, that's not Phil. Never mind. That's not Phil. Now this letter was sent by Stacy, And she is from, I think it's a she. It could be a guy. I've already misgendered my friend Dell, who gave me the Mighty Mouse t-shirt. And I kept saying he. And then finally I got a message that she's a she. And so, who knew? And I don't want to misgender you, Stacy, but I think you're a female. She says, "My name is Stacy and I'm a longtime listener of your channel. As I listened to your video, I felt compelled to write you. I'll give you my background. I'm disabled from Tarlov cyst disease. If I had the option for surgery at the time, I may not have had the bone and nerve damage, but it happened. I was a workaholic. I feel God was preparing me for this time. Evil people are being replaced." So she talks about living in Utah, never going to a caucus before, and she was, before I went, I was nominated 2 times. I'm something person, delegate for my precinct. Well, oh, she says Governor DeSantis is no good. Well, I think a lot of these people have been replaced. And I noticed that there was a difference in DeSantis, his appearance. And it kind of went along with his, well, I know they're all Freemasons. And so, you know, that right there tells you something. You know, that probably what we're looking at, if it is him, he's working a deal. That's just my opinion. But anyway, Stacy says, all the years I've listened to you when you talk about your back pain, I wanted to share Tarlov Cyst Disease Foundation. You may find your symptoms. Well, thankfully, I guess I should say, it was a spider bite. So, but anyway, thank you, Stacy. It's such a sweet letter. And Judy, you gave me such a nice donation, and you complimented my BitChute podcast. And oh, the back pain, yeah, which turned out to be a spider bite. Boy, that stuff gets all into your muscles. And it was on my back in this weird place where I kept holding mirrors up because it hurt so bad. I was expecting there to be a giant sore there or something, but I couldn't see anything until finally I went, hey, wait a minute, what's that? Because I could feel it when I put my hand back there, that it burned in a certain place, and I could feel the swelling and all. And finally, I got myself in some kind of position where I'm sitting in front of the mirror with another mirror. Anyway, I finally was able to see those 2 bites. And I took a picture of it in the computer so I didn't have to, stand there awkwardly and try to look at it. And yeah, so I had it diagnosed and turned out to be deadly spider bite, but all that poison gets into your muscle tissue. It's really hard to tell. And it just contracts and pulls and burns. God, it was horrible. Highly recommend that people wear all kinds of clothing. When they come to mow my lawn, they've got all kinds of stuff like wrapped around their heads, and it's like 100 degrees, and they're just covered in fabric. And now I know why. Now I know why. So you're ascending and you're using Himalayan pink salt and other things to help nullify harmful radiation. So Judy, you sent me a beautiful card and a lovely donation. Thank you so much. Linda, I'm so sorry to hear about Truman. We loved him as much as we love you. God, these things make me feel so abundant. It's an abundance. It really does create, in my mind, an incredible abundance that I have right now, and makes me very, very grateful. Thank you so much, Judy. Keep up the snark. That's the way I want to do this. I want to get snarky again. We already know what's going on. I'm sort of, figuring that out, and I'm watching I guess the technique they use for dispensing this information and making it organic so people don't go insane. I'm real interested in how they're doing that. But so I want to, like a football game or something like that, I want to do the blow by blow as far as the information coming in. The show, I want to comment on the show. So, we can get snarky when we do that. And also, if people are hearing some of this stuff for the first time, it's going to sound funny to them. So I might as well have fun with it anyways, because it is so insane. And yes, you say you're so sorry to hear about Truman. He's still with me in so many ways, and sometimes it makes me overwhelmingly brokenhearted. But then in other times, and more, I'm just grateful for the memories that I have with the little guy. God, I love that dog. Jeez, I love that dog. Thank you, Judy, so much. And also, can't forget about David. David just finished listening to my excellent BitChute podcast. And you are referencing my back pain. And you talk about a chiropractor. I used to go to a chiropractor. I don't anymore, but I'm going to share on my Happy Human. I use these, one is called a maw roller. There's all different kinds of wooden maw rollers and things that you can use on your back. And since wood is a conduit of natural energy, you can even take them out into the grass now, which I plan on doing later on. And David, for a second, I thought it was Stacy that sent me that photo. David, you sent me the photo of the fish. And David caught a whopper here. It's big, but he caught the fish and he released the fish unharmed. But that's a big one. That's a big, you could have made a wall mount out of that. I'm just kidding. It's best that you released it unharmed. Anyway, thank you. It's beyond joy for me to go to my post office box. And also, I want to, when Truman was dying on the floor, I kind of lost track of some of my viewer mail, which I have a bin that I'm going to go through because I specifically want to find you, hear that, who gave me this koala bear. It's a stuffed koala bear, and it was too big for Truman, and I actually got it a little bit, while he was dying. This you gave me, and I forgot your name. It's a female. I can't remember if you were from Australia or not. I read your letter and I was in such a state of just overwhelming sadness that I just kind of was walking around like a zombie while Truman was dying on the floor of the kitchen with little pillows and everything and a heating pad around him. But this koala bear, I kind of took it and I've had it in my studio, and I'm going to call it my abundance bear. And is it a bear, a koala, or is that a different animal? Anyway, I love him. He's got a little sad expression on his face, but we'll try to make him turn that frown upside down. Do they kind of frown like that? Are they grumpy? Anyway, he's cute. So cute. Thank you for that. See, these are the things I get in my post office box. So yes, and I left this up here. I can't say it enough. Please follow me and like my videos when I post them here if you're of a mind. It really does help me out. And in this case, I may have a chance to monetize my videos because it seems like a lot of truth is coming out right now on YouTube especially. So I've been saving videos of all kinds and doing a lot of things to raise my vibrations, get out of the house where Truman seems to always be walking around, at the out of the corner of my eye. Now, I also want to call attention to my friend Laura's YouTube page. Laura's View in Terror 2. She does a meditation, monthly meditation. She has the meditations every third Sunday of each month at 2 o'clock. And I think there was one today. Of course, I'm making this video, so. But I will put the link to her channel. And, yeah. Every third Sunday of each month at 2 o'clock Eastern Central Time. Standard Time, I'm sorry. Kathy Griffith called. She wants you to know she's human. I got this from Benny's, I think it's Benny Johnson, and he usually has a good, you know, he understands these people are deteriorating. I've heard him say the word lizard a couple times, and I heard him say adrenochrome one time. So he knows. And he asks, yikes, internet horrified as Kathy Griffin appears unrecognizable in scary new pics. Is she a vampire? Well, ding, 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 ding. Give this man a cookie. Yeah, look. Especially this one. And all the changes that they've all been through. And if you think this is gross, well, check this out. Well, sorry about that. This is just a close-up of the most horrifying picture. Whoa. I mean, she looked hideous before. Now look, God. Now, again, it's Benny pointing out that these people, there's something going on, and we have to find out what it is. So here's... He says, Trump did this to him, and now his show is canceled too. I mean, and it gets worse. They do a close-up. Benny's all over this. He does a close-up on the face. Yeah, this episode of Hollywood called, They Want You to Know They're 100% Human. What the hell? This looks like somebody stuck his face in a garbage disposal. And this is what came out. And he said, never mind, just leave it. I'll just grow more hair. Benny always puts, TDS did this to him. Trump derangement syndrome did this to them. Well, I think it's a little bit more than that. I think they don't have their food. And soon... they won't be able to walk down the street. Either they literally won't be able to walk because their legs will have crunched and, given out on them. Or they won't, if they do, people are going to run screaming. By the way, there was video of this, it looks like his face has been in a meat grinder and then stuck back on. He looks even worse than Soros. But there's video of him doing some funky dance down the hall, looking like King Kong, except shorter. And he's doing like his funky George dance. They are so jealous of President Trump's dances. They are so jealous of the fact that everything he says or does, like Beyonce at the dance party, it comes out as a song and everybody's dancing to it. They hate that. They're trying so hard to come up with their own song. That's what Elon Doge, we don't like Doge. And we're going to go from dawn to dusk. We do not like Elon Musk. That's not the song, but... and then they'll change it to another one. Every time they come out, they have a new song, hoping that it will catch on and they think somehow that's the answer. Because he came out doing his Trump dance. Now, this fool, this frightening, does he even realize how hideous he looks? To be dancing makes it even worse, okay? You shouldn't be dancing. You should be in a wheelchair with a bag over your head, for God's sakes. I don't want to see that. You look dirty, you look like you smell, and you look scary. You look like you eat human flesh, and there is none. Your refrigerator's bare. And we can't talk about people who are 100% human if we don't talk about this thing. I still want to know, what's that square thing in his jaw? What is that? Are these mechanical parts that I'm looking at? Did he swallow his lips? What the hell? These people are so weird looking, and it's getting worse and worse. Now, here is a picture of my beautiful friend AMINA M. She's got a channel on YouTube called AMINA M, and she's Canadian, and she was down here visiting, and we went to the Ringling Castle. Well, it's the Ringling house, and this guy was watching me take a picture of her, this guy who is the keeper of the gate or whatever. And so I was taking a picture of AMINA, and then he wanted to know if we wanted him to take a picture of us together. So here's the picture of us together. I know she's way taller than me. Next time I'll have to wear some heels. I didn't realize I was that much shorter than AMINA. But yeah, this was our going into the, well, it's the mansion. But because of the hurricanes and stuff, they have these they're drying out the top floor. Still, it was a very, very interesting excursion. Now, here's a picture I took of AMINA, the lovely, beautiful, exotic AMINA M. This is, it's like a parlor or something, but there's a lot of red around up in here. And then, of course, the huge Illuminati floor. But this is like, there's chairs and there's a bunch. It's very kind of ceremonial looking in here. But I was taking a picture of her, so anyway. There's other pictures of these furnitures. And then this is the bay. This overlooks the bay. So this is towards the back of the estate. Now, the rest of this is on video. And I'm going to get some music and put some music over it. But one of the things that I wanted to point out was how many babies. There's babies everywhere. And, you know, I'm beginning to believe that every time they have those cherubs and babies and stuff, that when they have these babies everywhere like that in museums and paintings and everything, it's really their food that they're talking about. And if you notice, the babies have wings and are in the sky like they're dead, you know, dead babies. And so there were 7 Ringling brothers, and they were all 33rd degree Masons. So this is the AI overview that seems to be taking over Wikipedia. They still put Wikipedia underneath of it, but they put the AI overview on top. It says, while all 7 Ringling brothers were Freemasons and members of Baraboo Lodge number 34 in Wisconsin, they did not hold the 33rd degree of the Scottish Rite. The 33rd degree is an honorary title within the Scottish Rite awarded for exceptional service to the fraternity. It's not a common attainment for all Masons, and the Ringlings' Masonic affiliations were limited to their membership in the Baraboo Lodge. Well, whether this AI is not properly informed or not, I do not know the answer to, or perhaps this was written at a certain point in time, but clearly this AI disagrees with that AI. The Ringling brothers did not have a specific salary tied to their 33rd degree Freemason status. The 33rd degree is a high honor with the ancient accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry awarded for outstanding service, not a form of employment, which is interesting because I didn't know Freemasons got paid to be Freemasons. Certain Freemasons, I guess, of a 33rd degree or any degree, I guess, has a salary to it. It says here, accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry awarded for outstanding service, not a form of employment. It signifies leadership and dedication to the fraternity or public life as noted by the Supreme Council. A 33rd degree Mason's salary would be based on their individual profession, not their Masonic rank. Well, they made them honorary 33rd degree Freemasons because of their circus. And you can only imagine all the things they were able to do with a circus like that. Not the least of which is traffic drugs and children and everything else that they're doing now. But I remember reading this in an old paper, and I'm still going through my discs looking for that. But yes, there were 7 of them, and they were honorary. So I guess if you work your way up through the rituals and all of that, then you get a salary for that. And they, since they were honorary, did not get a salary. But they didn't really need the money, as it turns out. So they are from Wisconsin. And over here is a website called the Midnight Freemasons. A group of Master Masons talk about topics of Masonic interest, each from their own unique perspective. You'll find a wide range of subjects, including history, trivia, travel, book, reviews, great quotes, and hopefully a little humor as well on topics of interest for Freemasons and those interested in the subject of Freemasonry. The night of January 21st, 1891 in Baraboo, Wisconsin, was a special night for many of the men of Baraboo. It is direct connection to a special happening some 111 years later. That's quite a number right there. 111. The story includes 6 soon-to-be famous brothers and involves the ceremonial regalia they wore on that special evening. In those days, the Baraboo Masonic Lodge number 34, free and accepted Masons, still met, as did all other fraternal organizations, in rented upstairs halls in downtown. The lodge at this time, however, was strong enough that a building of their own was being considered. Members had arrived on horseback, by carriage, or on foot for the decisive evening, and the temple was full. Also in Baraboo of that day, the spectacular 7-year rise to national prominence of the Ringling Brothers Circus had brought not only respect, but also good fortune to many of the brothers. Their father, August, had been a struggling harness maker, and it's interesting that there's 7 brothers, 7 years. So, as is well known, there were 7 Ringling boys, and young Henry had only recently become old enough for Masonic membership. It was most unusual for as many as 6 of the Ringling brothers to be in town at the same time. It was especially unusual on this evening that the 6 brothers occupied many of the major chairs in the lodge. All 7 Ringling brothers, including John, were members of Barabu Lodge. Before the year was out, Father August Ringling would join his sons in the Masonic order. Special aprons made. On this particular night in 1891, with such famous brothers occupying the chairs, some very special aprons had been ordered as gifts. Made of the finest blue velvet instead of the plain white linen usually worn, each apron was embroidered with silver thread and tassels. I want to stop here too. At the mansion, so much of that stuff was gifts from kings and czars and, leaders and princes and, all over the world. And of course, now they're having their special aprons made up with silver thread and tassels. Central to the blue order was white lambskin, with the symbols of the office or chair being occupied embroidered thereupon. There is some speculation that the aprons were designed and produced by the Ringling Brothers Circus Wardrobe Department in Barabu. On the back of each apron is the name of the Ringling brother and the chair he occupied, and all their names. Religiously speaking, the Ringlings were members of St. John's Lutheran Church, but nearly every church in Barabu was represented among the other brothers present that night. Aprons emerge. What happened over the years to the blue velvet and white lambskin aprons with their silver embroidery is of some interest. It is known that Mrs. Ida Henry Ringling, not to be confused with Ida Ringling North, gave the aprons nearly 50 years to one Richard Joe Bennett, a boyhood chum of Ida's grandson. So this goes on and on and on. So it says here that that special night that they were talking about, the Ringling brothers occupied the chairs, the aprons were presented, and the lodge prepared to build its own building. This was in January 1891. And it is known that a committee was appointed and a fine building was built on the northwest corner of Oak and 2nd Avenue. It was this building, approved at the 1891 meeting, with the temple rooms upstairs and McGann's furniture on the ground floor, which would burn some 65 years later. This fire in 1957 destroyed nearly all of the lodge records, regalia, and artifacts. By good fortune, the ceremonial aprons had been removed by someone and were cared for properly for 111 years. 111. There's that number again. Now they have been returned to their rightful home in Barabu, relics of a special night. Says throughout the years there have been many Masons with circus backgrounds, including members of the Gulmer family, circus owners, and the Moyler family, circus wagon manufacturers. General Tom Thumb, Harry Houdini, Buffalo Bill, Cody, and Barabu's own Jimmy Williams, a.k.a. Happy the Clown, Tony Vanicki, Smaha, and Robert Hokum, great-grandson of the Charter Junior Warden. Don't know him. Anyway, it says that the formation in the early 1870s of the Shrine helped create the bonds that grew between the circus and Masonry. The circus is one of the largest fundraising events for Shrine clubs. It is also a major source of income for circus performers. So it's interesting, and yeah. So I wanted to sort of wrap this up by showing this. This is the, it's like when you walk in, it's the first room, but I don't know if this was always the way it was set up, but you've got this giant red carpet and these almost like thrones or whatever, ceremonial type chairs, red on red on red. And this is like red velvet and I think a gold color. But anyway, it's a lot of red and it's all set up like in a ceremonial kind of configuration. And the masonry is so obvious when you're going through the house. So I'm going to have to end this now because there's no more time left. And I have to get to work on my Happy Human. I'm very excited about it. I got a lot of fun things. And also the next video coming up for Snarky McAllister, I guess, is the name of this channel. Instead of McAllister TV, I just thought I'd do something different. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful whatever. Oh yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, don't forget to go here. The Real Snarky 2025 right here. And it's Snarky McAllister. So, yeah, and follow me and subscribe. And, yeah, we'll get this show on the road, okay? And until then, I am signing off.